Hello everybody, Great Creator here, and today we are doing another top 5 video with, of course, Terronicle 545.
Yes, hello everybody.
Today we are doing top 5 Bionicle moments from the movies. So that includes Mask of Light, Legends of Metronui, Web of Shadows, and The Legend Reborn.
Yes, if we were just it's not, and keep in mind, it's not top 5 Bionicle moments ever. That I'm not sure if it'd be possible to make that list, like an accurate list of that. Like I think every spot would probably be a tie of like 5 entries. But yeah, so it's just moments from the movies. And just for me at least, keep in mind that I watched Legend Reborn like 2 days ago, but I haven't watched all the other movies in a very long time. So I'm sorry if I get any facts wrong. I'm sorry. I haven't really gotten up to, and we wanted to get this video out sooner rather than later. So, and I didn't want to have to rent every single movie. So yeah, if I get any facts wrong, I'm sorry about that. But yeah.
Okay, Terronicle, do you want to go over yours first, and then I'll elaborate on your points?
Yes, I will. All right, so starting with number 5 for me, we have Jawler's death from Mask of Light, and I'm just now realizing that I can't hear the word name Jawler without thinking of the YouTube channel. But anyway, yeah. So Jawler's death. The reason I really like this scene was just, I will say the actual way he died was just kind of meh. It was just like kind of your. But I'm talking about like afterwards, how Takua just like puts his mask on the speeder. That I really like. That for me, that was just kind of like a really just genuine just moment there. It was just I just really like that part mainly about it. Again, the actual death was kind of anticlimactic, but yeah. So yeah, that was overall my number 5. I just thought it was a pretty powerful moment.
I also thought that was a pretty good moment, despite not really being emotionally touched by it or anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any moments in these movies that really emotionally touch you. I thought it was just a good moment in the movie.
Honestly, I sort of just thought, I don't have to listen to him for the next couple minutes. Like, 5 minutes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I'm just gonna say this one. Takua. I'm sorry, I had to freaking do the thing. Oh my god.
I was gonna interrupt you like 20 seconds ago with that, actually.
Oh my god. Okay. That's actually the number 1 Bionicle movie moment is Jawler saying Takua. Okay, I'll stop. All right. So is that anything else you want to elaborate on?
Jowler was a really good character overall, but I personally didn't like him in Mask of Light.
I definitely don't really agree with TTV putting him as the number 1 Toa, but anyway, yeah. So moving on to my 4th pick, we have it's not really just one singular scene, but it's kind of multiple scenes. It's basically just Tahu being infected, and it was just because I thought that whole just kind of scene and just kind of plot thread, for me it was kind of like, Tahu's the leader, so him getting infected and him being evil. And I know we see this in a lot of movies, but I thought it just worked really well here. We have to see the team fight the leader by themselves. And yeah, I just thought it was really cool. And I thought he kind of acted really cool when he was infected, and the design was cool when he was infected. I don't even know. Did we get like an infected infected Tahu mask like piece?
Yeah, there was. It came in a boxed set of all the Bionicle Chronicles books.
Oh, you're right. It did. Yeah. So yeah, we did actually get the piece, which I thought was good. It was a cool piece. But yeah, I just thought the whole scene, just whole kind of plot thread of Tahu getting infected was really cool. And he got infected because he got like hit by the Rakshi staff, right? That's what happened, right?
Yeah, he was hit by Lee Rock, the Green Rakshi.
Okay, yeah, Lee Rock. All right, so yeah, really cool scene, really cool plot thread, and yeah, I really liked it.
I also really liked that chain of events, especially the part where Gali, Kopaka, and Liwa had to finally cure him and like save him in the end.
Yeah, it's kind of sad how that did the whole team fighting the leader thing better than Justice League did. So, and again, that scene was pretty cool. All right, anyway, getting off topic. All right, so number 3 for me, and again, this is kind of multiple scenes, but it was really one scene actually. Now that I think about it, but it was basically Legend Reborn when Madanui and Akar are looking over the land, and then Akar suddenly goes to attack Madanui. and he, like he reflects it, and then a car's like, "You've learned well," and yeah, I just felt you could just really feel the chemistry between the two. And this is gonna sound kind of odd, but Akar was almost kind of like a father figure to Madanui in that movie, just how he trained and how they bonded. And yeah, I just really felt good chemistry between them, specifically in that scene. But overall, yeah, the scenes where they're just bonding and just learning from one another, I really liked in the movie. So yeah, that was my number 3 personally.
I also really liked the relationship between Madanui and Akar, although I saw it more of as a brother relationship than a father-son relationship, like what you said.
Oh yeah, brother. Like yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it. Like older brother, younger. I get that. I get that.
I also really like where they were introduced to each other, like the fight with Strack. I felt like that was a cool introduction.
It's kind of an off-topic thing, by the way. I really thought Strack was gonna like tie into something later on in the movie, but that went nowhere.
Also, if you guys have ever read the Bionicle Movie 5 treatment that Greg Varsity put up on BZ Powers, Akar and Madanui are pretty good in that as well. I'll leave a link to that in the description if I can.
And as we all know, I can remember Strack's name. That's a throwback right there. Comment below if anyone gets that reference. If you remember that video. All right, so all right, yeah. Number 2, and this may seem like kind of an odd pick to be putting at number 2 for me, but Sidorak's death from Web of Shadows. Now, I gotta be honest. The dialogue in the scene I really hated, and I really just whenever Sidorak opened his mouth in that movie, I was just shut up. But the reason that I'm putting it all the way at number 2 is there is Kitangu literally beats Sidorak on screen, and I'm like, okay, this is an adult moment for a Bionicle movie. Like, there's no like pretending, oh, maybe he still survived, maybe he's just knocked out. No, he gets killed on screen in front of it, and I think that was that the only time that happened in one of the movie? I mean, that kind of happened with Tuma, but it definitely wasn't as brutal here. So yeah, it was definitely one of the most powerful scenes. So yeah, I'm putting it at number 2. And Jalwar, you're right, Jalwar. Yeah.
Nidiki and Kreka also died on screen.
I mean, that was. Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, it wasn't as brutal. They kind of just. I mean, yeah, you're right. Actually, see, that wasn't the only time, but it was probably the most powerful from death for me. So yeah.
It was also the most clear death. Like with Nidiki, Kreka, and Toraga Lakan, they all just sort of faded. Tuma was more clear, but those 3 were all vague.
Yeah, I get you. I just got a text if you heard my phone ring. But yeah, so that was definitely the strongest death in the movie for me, and yeah, I'm putting it at number 2. So number 1, but no, in my opinion, the number 1 best scene in any of the Bionicle movies is the scene in Mask of Light, which, fun fact, is probably my favorite out of all the movies, where Makuta is creating the Rakshi. Now, the reason I'm putting this at number 1 is because throughout Mask of Light, the beginning of parts of Mask of Light, I was like, okay, this really isn't what I thought a Bionicle movie would be like. Like, if you tell me Bionicle made a movie, that, like, the beginning of Mask of Light wasn't really what I thought it would be. Until this scene came, I was like, yes, this is the Bionicle movie that I wanted. This is what I envisioned a Bionicle movie to be like, have, some dark scenes like this, but not be like all like rated R, but not be like totally G, just be a little bit more adult. And yeah, I just thought that whole scene was just brilliantly done. Another thing is that the lighting in the scene, and really just the whole lighting with Makuta in the movie in general, of how the shadows hit him and stuff, was really good. So yeah, the scene where Makuta's creating the Rakshi for me is definitely the number 1 best scene in any Bionicle movie. So yeah.
I really liked that scene as well, and there was 2 scenes, by the way, where he created the Rakshi.
You're right. I just lumped them together. I totally didn't forget. I totally knew that. By the way, I totally didn't forget that.
You know it just as well as Strack's name.
Yeah, totally. Strack's name and yeah. So yeah. But what we say? Were those your only thoughts on it, or
Yeah. I also really liked how he like went through their names. He's like fear, starvation, and like what they're sort of called.
Yeah, it's pretty good Makuta impression there.
It was marvelous.
Yes. All right. So yeah. yeah, overall, my number one scene. And yeah, great creator. Onto your picks.
Okay, all right. So my number 5 has to be the scene from Legend Reborn where Madanui kills Tuma, because it sort of looks like it's going to be the end of the war because like the leader's gone. Of course, it isn't though because like Metis comes out of nowhere and proves that he's the leader. Oh, spoiler alerts, by the way. Didn't mention that. It's a little late.
Oh yeah, spoiler. A little late. Halfway through the video. Yeah, there were spoilers. Yeah. Maybe we should have said that. All right. Just put like a disclaimer in the beginning, I guess.
I also really liked how it ended up tying into the comics a lot. I remember reading the comics after watching the movie and being like, oh, so that's why Tuma was injured in Mask of Life or Legend Reborn.
Wait a minute, really? I didn't even know that. Wait a minute, really?
Yeah, in the comics it explains how there's a bunch of beings who were sent to Baramagna to kill anyone with a weapon, and they ended up injuring Tuma and killing like hundreds of thousands of Skrull.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that. All right, I'm learning a new thing.
Yeah, I love the comics, especially 8 and 9. They're my favorite for sure.
I may have not read any of the comics, but they're not supposed to know that.
Comics 8 and 9 are the only ones that I've read like the full thing of, so.
Oh, okay.
Tuma overall being an ignorant character was pretty well done as well, so.
That's ignorant. All right, I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts, Terronicle?
All right. Comment below if you got that reference. But anyway, okay. So personally, when I just watched Legend Reborn like 2 days ago, for me, when that scene happened after Tuma's death was just kind of okay. That happened. For me, it was just kind of anticlimactic. Like, I liked how Madanui used the kind of method that a car taught him, going back to one of my favorite scenes. But I don't know, just the whole scene kind of, for me, and I kind of actually talked about this in my review of the Tahu versus Furno, but I feel like in fight scenes, they should be more fast-paced. The animation should be more fast-paced. And for me, that scene just kind of moved too slow for me. Like, I know it's going to kind of sound odd, but like, I don't know, it just wasn't really shot well for me. Everything just kind of moved a bit slow in that scene for me. So yeah, I didn't hate it. It was just kind of I will say though, I really like the build up to that scene, or like the build up of Tuma coming out to fight Madanui. But yeah, the actual defeat was kind of meant for me. But yeah, the fight leading up to it was kind of cool for me. But yeah.
That makes sense, I guess. On to number 4 then. Number 4 for me was a series of scenes from when Matau was mocking Nidiki and Kreka, all the way to when Onewa and Wanua and Nuju and Lacan are all freed during Legends of Metro Nui. I guess we could call it the Kikanalo Stampede. It's also the only scene where I actually liked Matau in that movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure that Lance from Next and Matau are actually the same character. Like, they're like literally the same character. I'm just saying.
That is a great analogy.
Someone Lego film theory that are Matau and Lance the same character. I'd like to see that.
We need to go into more detail.
Next video. Is Matau and Lance are the same character?
I really like that scene because it had Matau as actually an interesting character, and Kreka being confused is always funny to watch. And then seeing all the Vaki getting trampled at the end of it was pretty cool overall.
So like I said, I watched this movie a while ago, but yeah, I remember I really liked that scene. It was just cool and it was just fun to watch. Like, it wasn't like, there wasn't really like a meaning to it or anything. It was just fun to watch for me. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a big part of why I like it in general.
Seriously though, I think Lance from Nexonites and Matau are actually the same character.
Yeah, they're both really like arrogant for the most part.
Speaking of characters, Tahu's my favorite Ninjago character.
I still have to make a meme out of that. I'll get on that at some point.
Yeah, you have to make a meme. You never made a meme out of that. All right.
I will get to that.
Yes, you will.
Any other thoughts?
No, that was it. Just Tahu's my favorite Ninjago character. That's all that you need to remember.
Okay, so on to number 3. This is the Battle of Takoro in the Mask of Life. The Mask of Light. Mask of Light.
What was that? What was that? I didn't hear you. What was that?
The Battle of Takoro.
In what movie?
It's in the Mask of Light.
Oh, I thought you said the life for a second. That would have been weird.
I did say Mask of Life, but I corrected myself.
I know that was a joke because it was yeah, all right, anyway, yeah, keep going.
I liked this scene because it was like the first actual battle of the movie. Like there was action scenes before it, but there was no fighting or anything.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, like the first like scene of like characters fighting with like weapons.
In that battle, it was really cool to see the Rakshi come to life for the first time. There was like Gurak, Lirak, and Panrak, I think.
Just take like just it's Ak and then like the names of the Toa basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It also is the scene where Lirak poisons Tahu, which leads into one of your top picks.
Which yes was one of my favorite scenes. I like to say. Yeah.
And then after the battle, which they actually lost, which is one of the few. Actually, never mind. They lose a lot in the Bionicle movies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now that you think of it, yeah.
Also, just watching Takuro sink and realizing that it was sort of the end of an era for Bionicle.
Yeah. All right. So. Yeah, I really like the scene. Yeah, it's just like I mean, like again, I gotta be honest, I didn't really remember it too well, but for me, it was just kind of like kicking out Stampede. It was just a fun fight scene for me. So yeah, again, it is when Tahu gets infected. So that's probably my favorite part about it because I just love Tahu being infected in the movie. That sounded mean. No, I love Tahu. No offense, Tahu, if you're watching this. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, you're my favorite Ninjago character, Tahu. So I really like that scene. Just yeah, like I said, it was just for me. It was just fun to watch, and it was just kind of entertaining fight. So yeah.
So on to number 2. My number 2 top pick is from the point where Takua enters Onukaro in the Mask of Life. Mask of Life is my favorite Bionicle movie. To the point where Jollar dies. It's a pretty broad amount of scenes, but like they all sort of run together, I guess.
All right, that's gonna be Tahu's my favorite Ninjago character, and Mask of Life's my favorite Bionicle movie. I almost said Ninjago movie. Mask of Life's my favorite Ninjago movie, and then Tahu's my favorite character in it. Oh my god! All right, do not cut this out. We need to leave this in.
The meme is important.
Yeah, the meme is the most important part. This isn't even a top 5 list. It's just Terron and Great Creator talk about memes. Oh no, create memes.
But yeah, from like Onokoro to when the Rakshi kills Jala, whatever Rakshi it is, it's like Turok or Tarok or something.
His name's Randy. Yeah, Bob William Furno reference there. All right.
Yeah, I just really like that because like I like the Onokoro battle because it's the first time I got to see the Rakshi like Tanrak and the 2 other Rakshi. I forget their names.
It's probably Korok and then what would it be? Onurak? I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing based on the other names. Urak. I don't know. All right, but yeah.
That fight scene was cool, and then like Taku escaping was pretty neat, and then it led right into the other battle with the other 3 Rakshi, and they like froze a bunch in glass and stuff, and then Jollar died, obviously. It's also one of my favorite fight scenes because it's all 6 Rakshi versus all 6 Toa. It was just so epic to watch.
Yeah, that was really cool having all 6 of them fight. And actually, I have some honorable mentions that I wanted to say, but I'll save them. I'll say them after your list. But I had a couple honorable mentions, which were kind of just scenes I liked, but I just basically just scenes I want to talk about that I didn't mention.
Okay. Do you have any other thoughts on this scene?
There's a scene in it that's there's kind of parts of it. There's a part of it that's in one of my honorable mentions, but yeah, it was just really cool to see. Obviously, it sets up the Jollar death, which was one of my favorite scenes, but yeah, it was just really cool seeing all the Toa fight all the Rakshi because it was kind of the whole movie was building it up. So yeah, I will say though, I kind of wish all the Toa were just together from the start because I wish there was more scenes of them all together. You kind of know what I mean?
Yeah, more of a Toa movie instead of a Matoran movie.
But yes, yeah. But for what we got, I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah.
Now, Great Creators number 1 top pick.
I feel like that's a reference to something, but I don't know what it is.
Number 15.
Burger King. Okay, I can do that voice perfectly. Ready for this? Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want on your Burger King burger is foot fungus. But it may turn out that might be what you get. If you want to edit, I'm sorry if I'm making you edit more, but I say you just keep that in.
I'm not editing that out.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, anyway, so what's your number 1?
Okay, my favorite moment is in Web of Shadows when Matau and Vakama are fighting, all the way up to the point where Vakama ends up killing Rudaka. I really like this scene because it makes both Matau and Vakama really likable characters, especially Matau because like after watching Legends of Metro Nui, I wasn't sure how they could do that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I can agree with you there.
In the books I've read, I don't really find him likable there either.
He's just kind of arrogant. He's just kind of self-centered, you know what I mean?
But that's exactly why I liked him in Web of Shadows because it like changed his character to be more positive.
Again, that's kind of like the point of his character, but I don't know. It's just you kind of got to dial it back at some points.
Yeah, and I like the scene all the way up to when they're finally fighting Rudaka, and like all the Toa Blasters, she's like, "You only have 5. You need unity," or something similar to that. And then Vakama comes out of nowhere and blasts her, killing her and winning the fight, and also awakening Makuta.
All right, so I really like that scene. I really liked how we see for me it's more of like just a Vakama and Matau character development scene. And Rudaka, spoiler for a video that may be upcoming soon. Who knows? I rephrase that video that I want to do, but I'm been too lazy to make. Top 10 favorite Bionicle characters. Rudaka would definitely be on that list for me because I think she's just a really cool character. So yeah, So it was kind of sad to see her die, but yeah, for me it was more character development for Vakama and Matau. And yeah, I really like that scene. I personally wouldn't call it one of the best. It'd probably make a top 10 for me, but not a top 5. But yeah, I liked it. I agree with you there. So yeah.
Awesome. And now to Terronicle's honorable mentions.
All right, so I totally didn't just think of these like while we were recording, and I totally had these like written down beforehand. But my honorable mentions were Pohata. First off, you're number one. But for Pohatu, when Pohatu and Onua first meet up in Mask of Light, you can just kind of feel like the bond between them, and I really like that. For me, it was kind of like it was like Ikimu and not Ikimu, Mananui. Oh god, I hope I haven't been saying Ikimu this whole time. Mananui and Akar bonding in Legend Reborn. Yeah, it was kind of just like them bonding. Onua and Poatu, them bonding. Yeah, it was kind of like that, where you could just kind of feel the chemistry between them, and yeah, that was pretty good. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. I just that scene pretty much was just yeah, one that I really like that scene as well.
Great. So that concludes our second top 5.
I hope I haven't been saying Akimu instead of Madanui. That'd be embarrassing.
You said it once before we started recording, and that's it, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, anyway, yeah, so yes, thanks for having me, great creator.
No problem. Look forward to doing this again.
Yes, same here. And as for my channel, the next episode Terronicle podcast will hopefully be out next weekend. Guess I'll leave a surprise. But yeah, that'll be out next weekend. So yeah.
You can find Terronicle at his channel, Terronicle545. I will link that down below. You can also find him at the Region Resistance, which actually was created after the recording of this episode. But seeing as I'm the editor, I've gone back and recorded this line.
And my Instagram, which I've been too lazy to make because I have to make a new account for it, but I will eventually. So yeah.
Great creator, over and out.
And Terronicle, I don't have an ending thing, so bye.